of Straight Cash Homey Picks. I'm your host, Jason, and let's get right into it and find out what I missed last week. What a difference a half point makes. 7.5 points for Alabama versus Texas A&M. A little bit too much. Also, Purdue decides to put up a fight against Notre Dame in the first half, and Army puts up a few points against Stanford as well. But let's find out some of the things that I got right last week. Well, a MAC school travels to the Bayou, LSU at night, and covers against the spread. Also, Florida State tosses up a huge number against Nevada. But let's look ahead to this week's games. Alright guys, to get things started, we have Florida A&M, FAMU, going to Ohio State. They're going to be 49.5 point dogs there on the road, and I think take Ohio State, lay the 49.5 points. Then you have FIU traveling to Louisville. They're going to be 41.5 point favorites. I think take Louisville, lay the 41.5 points. North Texas traveling to Georgia. North Texas, a pretty darn good defense, which Ball State found out last week. I think take North Texas and the 32.5 points. Then we have Washington playing host to Idaho State, the Bengals. Washington's going to be a 45.5 point favorite, and I think take Washington and lay the 45.5 points. Then we have Maine traveling to Northwestern. Northwestern's really come on strong this year, and it shows. They're going to be a 45.5 point favorite at home. I think take Maine and the 45.5 points. Then an SEC battle of teams that hate scoring touchdowns. Tennessee at Florida. Florida's going to be a 14.5 point favorite, and although it may come back and bite me, I think take the Gators and lay the 14.5 points. If you can get them at 14, definitely take it. It's the half point that scares me. Purdue played spoiler last week against the spread against Notre Dame. This week they take on Wisconsin at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's going to be a 24.5 point favorite, and I think take Wisconsin. No way Purdue does that 2 weeks in a row, right? Speaking of Notre Dame, they play host to Michigan State this week. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup, guys. Notre Dame's a 7.5 point favorite at home. I think take Michigan State. I still think the Irish win, but maybe only by about 3. Then Baylor plays host to Louisiana Monroe, and they're going to be pretty big home favorites at 27.5 points. I think take Baylor, lay the 27.5 points. Next up we have Florida State playing host to School for the Blind. Bethune-Coleman. Florida State's going to be a 49.5 point favorite, as no surprise. But I think take the dog on the road here. That's a lot of points for Florida State to put up. Then we have Savannah traveling to Miami. The Canes are going to be a 49.5 point favorite, and I think take the Canes, lay the 49.5 points. SMU traveling to Texas A&M. Texas A&M coming off of a tough home loss against Bama last week. I think take Texas A&M and lay 28.5 points. The flip side of that, we have Bama, which is a huge favorite, 38.5 points, playing host to Colorado State. I think take Colorado State and the points. Another SEC matchup with LSU playing host to Auburn. I think take the Tigers, the LSU Tigers, and lay the 16.5 points. Then Michigan travels to UConn. UConn's going to be a home dog at 17.5 points, and it's not going to matter. I think take Michigan and lay the 17.5 points. Final game of this week is New Mexico State traveling to UCLA. The Bruins going to be a huge home favorite, 42.5 points. I think take the Bruins and lay the 42.5 points. Well, there you have it, folks. This week's Straight Cash Homey Picks. Let me know what I missed, what you'd like to see in future episodes, and as always, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Straight cash, homie.